Okay, so starting a bit late, we're in the middle of the Sicha, the talk of the Rebbe with regard to Chof from Tafshin Yud. So we kind of sifted through the first Sicha, which was kind of a Hadran about the mission and the Brisa, about a vocation a person has to find, whether it's going to be done miraculously, like Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, where Melach Chanasai, the Yechiah, your work is being done by someone else, totally dependent on Hashem, or that it's an avodah, it's a kind of vocation. And with regard to the question about turning Torah into a source of income, if your initial learning is for the right reasons, but then it comes time to get to feed your family, and you have to have an education, you have to have an income. So then, of course, you could use your Torah studies, which is the ability to be a rabbi, a teacher, Rosh Hashiva. Obviously, everyone gets paid for their, but that's not why you study. You study to learn Torah. You need to earn your income, so you don't have any other skills. That's the skills that you use, or that you want to continue in the skills of Torah, even if you do have other skills. Now, the Rebbe says like this: this difference between the Mishnah and the Brisa. So the Mishnah is the general, and therefore there's details. And the higher elevated level is the Brisa, which talks about specifically like the cases of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. Is Yugam Pnim Sinyanim, also we can find this in the spiritual sense. Like everything in creation, Prat Binyan Torah mitzvahs, with regard to Torah mitzvahs. Any difference that we find in the revealed parts of Torah is because it's based on the differences, the way they are in the spiritual sense, in the ruchnistic sense. Like upon the Rebbe says, we'll explain this in a short idea. There's many levels of Torah. But in general, there's two fields of Torah. Torah is the inner secrets of Torah. This is like a shashuim, this is a pleasure to God. And the terminology used is etzloi dafka, to God, something is kind of more personal. The where the world is totally doesn't, and it's the rules of the world totally don't dictate when it comes to the way Torah is etzloi, the way it's by God. And the Rebbe says it's not kiloi, as if it doesn't matter. The world totally does not matter. It means to say the world doesn't dictate the reality. The rules of the world don't dictate the reality. That's why, of course, the price, according to Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, you can study Torah and Hashem will provide, because there's no limitations. The Torah is more in an external sense. It's connected to the idea of Torah. Sorry, it's connected to the idea of limitations of the world. So too, how a person approaches Torah, which is the way Torah is itself beyond the world or connected to the world. So the pnimis of Torah is beyond the world. When the chassid externally, it has some sort of connection to the world. And also the way a person approaches Torah. In the Vodas Ada. The pnimis of Torah, the secrets of Torah is like the tree of life. It's beyond the world, and how the world runs. Because the world has good and bad. And our job is to separate the good from the bad, to find the good and keep the good and get rid of the bad. Like there's the idea of silence, there's waste. The Nigla Torah isn't called Ilona, it's the tree of Toivarag, the tree of good and bad. And like Alter Rebbe explains in detail, Tanya, not because there's parts of Torah that are bad, but the Torah deals with situations of bad, good and bad. When you say something is forbidden, tamei, when you say two people are arguing, one person is obviously not telling the truth. The Torah it gets involved in the way things are in the world. The Torah encloses itself in good and bad, and even has to deal with and guide us. How do we deal in a situation for certain someone's not telling the truth? Two people holding a talus, like the Alter Rebbe quotes the time, each one says, I found them. The Torah says, what do? You have two claims, equal claims. Two people are holding equal position and possession of the talus. So it's a zechalot, you have to divide. What else are you supposed to do? Because each person's their claim, and they have a chazaka. They're holding the talus, so you give each person half, even though obviously someone's not telling the truth. The Suga Sheni now learning the Torah, the way things are in the tree of good and bad. And it's not that the Torah has to compromise because there's no other way. That is where Torah clothes itself in the reality. That's the reality of the world. And the reality of the world is going to be Titus Sheker. And how do you deal with the Titus Sheker? How does Torah say to deal with the Titus Sheker? How does Torah say to deal with a situation with someone's life? Torah guides us. In this means Torah is saying this is the world. And in the world, there's all types of people and also all types of situations. And the Torah guides us in these situations of the world. That's Torah, that's the tree of good and bad. It's like the way things are studied in the Mishnah. And then you could have a situation like he says, where the person's sick. There's sickness is negativity. Well, the Suga Rishon learned when the tree of life, when Hagashiv which is the way we said it, the Braisa, which is a higher level, because the Mishnah is talking to everyone. The Braisa is talking about to an elevated view. The Amdu Zarim Mirot Tzeinchem, where foreign people are going to come and take care of your needs. Even because you're doing what David wants. You're connecting to this tree of life. You're connecting to the Torah the way it is beyond the world, not the Torah within the world. This is a very deep idea that goes through the Rebbe's sheet, the way the Rebbe explains in my Morim and Sicha. The idea of how does a person approach things? What world are you living in? Are you living in the world of Torah and different the Torah and the Shulchan? They open up the Shulchan and says, what do you do in such a situation? Or are you living in a world of the Braisa, the world of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, the world of the tree of life, where it's all emes. Because it's not like, okay, I hold a card of such a kind of, it's how you really live it. You live such a life. You're a person of everything about you is doing the will of Hashem. Your whole mitzvah, your whole being is to do the will of Hashem. Not to be a person who's living in the world and guiding your how you live your life by the Ratzon of Hashem. The Ratzon Shalom Mishtashis, and you're connected to the God's will that's beyond creation. And the idea is you bring it down until it becomes the Ratzon of the space. It dictates the reality of the space, and therefore the reality of space is not based on the reality of the world, but the reality of Torah. The Rebbe adds, was a Result based on our teachings from our rabbis that say, but we find that God is ready to forgo idol worship, decent behavior sexually, even murder. Levitin is not ready to forgive or forgo of Bittul Torah, of a person not studying Torah. It's crazy. Like it says, I'd rather you leave me, but you still keep my Torah. Is asking because when you deal with the Torah, it's not because we don't care about these things, because God has hope and He knows, and this is something that's baduk, it's been checked, and it's been done over and over again. That just jump into the world of Torah. Trust the Torah. The Torah is going to bring you back. That you're not going to serve idols. You're not going to have the relationships you shouldn't be having. You're not going to be killing people. Whatever the level of killing people means, it doesn't just mean literally murder. It means the concept of murder. Amor daika, because it's the source, it's the aura. The aura it's the illuminary, not the light that comes from the luminary. It's connected to the source of Torah. Shakal Pnimis Torah. That's specifically referring to the chassidus. So when a person learns chassidus, amor shbei ma'asal. Again, this is something that it's been baduk, it's been checked. Like you have a child, you have a person that's questioning. Just let's learn. We'll talk a little later. I've seen it happen many times. Behegdim Amavur, the Kunsh Yitzchayim, Tzvatan and Yitzchayim, Pirish Akosov, Kiner Mitzvah Torah Or, that the Ner, the light, the candle is the Mitzvah, the Torah is the light, V'derach HaChayim. What's that? What's the addition? What's the addition and the way of life? If you have a Ner Mitzvah Torah Or, then that is the way of life. What are we talking? What type of way of life is there that's not getting the mitzvahs in Torah? The Alter Rebbe, the Rebbe Shab explains it. It's Chaim, because it's Chaim. The Derech HaChaim is another level. That's not the Chitzonis in Torah. That's the Morish Torah, the source of light, which is Pnimis Torah, which is Chassidus. That's why a person is always more Chassidus. That's the difference between the or, the light, and the more, the illuminary, the source of light. Shnigla the Torah Nikra or Torah or Primus of Torah Nikra or. The Primus of Torah, the secrets of Torah, specific chassidus, is called more, the luminary. Or because or is not the source. It's only a light that comes from the source. The further it's away from the source, the dimmer the light is. Until you get to the point you can't see light anymore. You don't see any light, it's totally nullified. Where you have the source of light, no matter where you are, if you're with the source of light's always there. You can't distance yourself if you're holding the source of light. As you move, the source of light is with you. The dogmatic bruch is what this means spiritually. The Torah, the difference revealed parts of Torah, chassidus. The person learns revealed parts of Torah, besides the fact that it's compared to light. A person could get involved with sins, and the sins is a contradiction. The study of Torah, like it says, your sins create a separation. It could be a situation where you're oived avodah zarah, you have shvichas dam, you have yegiah, three major sins. That's yavu, that you should die and not transgress. The Rebbe says even if you're not killing people exactly, but in a certain refined way, you're dealing with certain. What's avodah zarah? Avodah zarah doesn't mean you bow down to a stone. Avodah zarah is an avodah that's zarah, it's not connected to God. Anytime you have a fear of the world, it's avodah zarah. That's why it says someone who lives in chutz la'aretz is avodah zarah. Tahara, yes, you're not bowing down, but what dictates, what excites you is worldly things. There's a higher level of reality. Any time you sin is a disconnect. If it's a disconnect, that's a form of violation. There's certain things the Torah tells us, the rabbis tell us, that this sin, like gaiva, certain sins that is considered like idol worship. They lean into the Torah. A person who learns chassidus, the source of Torah, even though yes, you may stumble, at the end, the source of light is to bring a person back to the path. Famous line of Rebbe Sham that said there's Gimel Bach, there's three sure things of life. One thing is that alcohol makes a person drunk. Second thing is money makes a person crazy. And the third thing is tzaddiks makes a person able to find. So Rebbe Shab says he sees people that get drink and they don't get drunk. Rebbe Shab says because they didn't drink enough. If they drink past a certain point, everyone gets drunk after a certain point. Say a person is the second one is money makes crazy. You see people have money, they're not crazy. Give the person enough money, he or she eventually will become crazy. We see that now. People have tremendous wealth and eccentric behavior. And the third thing is chassidus, which makes a person able. So you say, what do you mean? I see people that learn chassidus and they're not able. If that person learns enough chassidus, they become able, they become able. Yeshtakashas, the Rebbe says we can connect this in different Gemara. The Gemara says, Torah tzibul and Moshe Tamas Torah. Torah, the word Torah, which is 400. Torah is, if the test is, the toughness is 400, the ratio is 200, that's 600. And Vav and Hey is 11. It's only 611, but the Torah is 613 mitzvahs. So it says Torah tzivulanu Torah b'gematria shismeya b'chad shriya. It's only 611. Behind the chassid Torah Tarya tzivulanu Moshe b'shtayim anechel le'ilecha l'pek b'shamanu. Because the first 611 we heard from Moshe. The first two we heard from God Himself. The first two commandments. He says, sorry. We heard the first two from Hashem Himself. Even let's say you only have 611 mitzvahs. And you're missing the inyan of Anechi, you're missing the idea of belief. As I'm stuck in idea with the Torah, when you learn enough Torah, it's going to fix this problem you have. Because at the end of the day, the Torah is going to bring you back. Even if you doubt, what do you miss? You miss in you don't believe in Hashem. Learn enough Torah, it's going to help in your belief. Finish this talk. Again, the Sicha is a very, very powerful fabricating of Iskashrus. This is all the groundwork that the Rebbe is laying for deep Iskashrus ideas as the fabricating goes on. And we're going to go through it all. That's why this is the statement of Rebbe Naharoi. In the word Naharoi is the word a luminary. I give away all the vocations of the world. I only study Torah. I will only teach my son Torah. Learned before, there's two types. It's the way the Mishnah says it, the way the Brisa says it. It's Torah about a vocation. It's just a better vocation. It's a vocation of Torah, or it's beyond that. I'm not studying Torah for any kind of vocation, for any kind of job. I'm studying Torah for the sake of Torah because I'm connecting to Ratzon and connecting to a Ma'orship or the Pneusa Torah. Generally, a person starts off doing it for yourself, on your own agenda. Your job is to come down to this world, is to fix your body, your soul, your body, animalistic soul, and your space of influence. She said, that's studying Torah for yourself. Then you're not learning Torah in order to use it as a tool to refine your animal soul, to work on your goof, on your body, and your space of influence. But you're studying Torah for the sake of Torah. The Malam Kol Mishparim has something to do about a vocation in the world of worldly things. Not even to fix yourself. I'm ready to give away any kind of vocation that's connected to the world. I only teach my child Torah. It stands with the person whether they're young, whether they're old. Because he opens up the eyes of the rabbis, which is streams of Torah. That's the luminary of Torah. The level of Torah that you're using as a tool to fix your body and your soul, your animal soul, and your influence. The yegiah that comes with battles. It's always like Rivka was told that there's a nefesh lekis, a nefesh bahamas. It's a struggle. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you could be pinned down by your nefesh bahamas. It wins the battle sometimes. Eventually you will be victorious. You could have sometimes there's a little bit of a break. But you're not talking about connecting to an umnus to engage, to fix. Taking a goof to fix your body for in your space of the world. Torah Lishmah, there is no separation. It states the person in the youth and in the age. Even if you're in a situation of pain, of suffering, Torah is going to be there with you. Maybe this is because of other things that happen, not because of you, maybe. You're in a situation, whether it's your family members, whatever happened. You could become sick. Maybe sometimes you're also lacking in your performance. Therefore, your body becomes unhelpful. But eventually, the luminary is going to bring you back home. Stop over here, stick the Gimel, and the Rebbe is going to continue. Like it says, this brings us into Iskashrus system. All right, we'll see. I'm not sure if tomorrow we're going to have a class in the Maimorim. I'll post it maybe anyways. We have to move that class to Friday, and then we'll continue the Sichas of Chof into next week. Have a wonderful 2 both.